In this study, we focus on the importance of theory and conceptual framework in research. A theory helps us understand why something happens, while a conceptual framework shows how the key ideas in a study are connected. In early childhood education, both are very useful because they help link learning theory with real classroom practice. This article applies learning theory to build a framework that connects teacher competence, school support, and children learning outcomes.
Hello everyone! Today I will talk about the definition and role of theory in research. A theory is a set of ideas that help us understand how and why something happened. In research, a theory acts like a foundation or roadmap that guides the research. It helps to explain the research problem, collect data, and understand the findings. Theories are very important because they connect our study with previous knowledge and give the research clear direction. Without a theory, research will be weak and have no purpose because there is not structure to explain what is being studied or why it matters. In early childhood education, theory helps teachers and research understand how children learn and grow. For example, Jean Piaget's cognitive development theory explains that children learn through exploring and experimenting. Lev Vygotsky's social cultural theory shows that children learn through social interaction with teachers and friends. Vygotsky also introduced the zone of proximal development, or we call it ZPD. This means children can do more with help and guidance from adults. Teachers can use this idea to support children's learning step by step. In the article, Empowering Malaysia Early Childhood Practitioner Sustainable Inclusive Practice Through the STEM Framework 2023, research used constructivist learning theory and Vygotsky's sociocultural theory. Their theory explains that learning happens through active participation, teamwork, and discovery. In conclusion, theory are the backbone of research. They guide the study, explain relationships, and give meaning to the findings. In early childhood education, theories also help teachers plan lessons that match how children learn best. Thank you.
I will explain how to derive a conceptual framework in research. A conceptual framework is important because it provides structure, clarity, and direction to the entire study. Step 1. Literature and theory review. The first step is to review past studies and relevant theories. This helps us understand what has already been explored and what is still lacking. If we skip this step, we may repeat previous work or fail to focus on the real issue. This review also strengthens the justification of our study from both theoretical and practical perspectives. Step 2. Selecting key variables. The second step is to identify the main concepts or variables. These variables must be directly related to the research question. They should be chosen based on evidence from the previous literature, not on the personal assumption. If the wrong variables are selected, the study may become unclear during the analysis stage. Step 3. Identifying relationships. Next, we determine how these variables are connected. For example, one variable may influence another, or some variables may act as mediators. In the STEM framework, teacher competence and institutional support influence pedagogical practice, and these practices affect students' learning outcomes. Every relationship must be logical and supported by the theory. Step 4. Drawing the framework diagram. After confirming the relationship, we draw a clear diagram using arrows to show the direction of influence. This diagram is not only for illustration, it also serves as a guide when writing the methodology and discussion sections. A well-designed framework saves time and ensures consistency throughout the research process. Step 5. Providing written justification. Finally, we provide a written explanation to justify the framework. Each relationship must be supported by relevant theories. For example, in the instinct framework, Vygotsky theory and constructivism are used to support the integration of human and environmental factors. Values such as inclusivity and sustainability also act as connecting elements. Deriving a conceptual framework is not only about drawing a diagram, it is a systematic process that connects theory, practice, and research objectives into one structured model. Thank you.
Today, I will be talking about diagram relationships between variables. A diagram is a visual tool that shows how different variables or concepts are related in a study. It helps us understanding clearly how one factor can influence another. Usually, diagrams use boxes and arrows to show the variables and the direction of influence. For example, in the Eastern Framework 2023, there are 4 main variables. First, teacher professional competence, which refers to teachers' knowledge, attitudes, and practice. Second, institutional support and environment, which includes resources, leadership, and training. Third, pedagogical practice, which are classroom strategies used to create inclusive learning. And fourth, children's learning outcomes, which focus on creativity, confidence, and participation. The relationship these variables can explain like this: teacher competence and institutional support lead to better pedagogical practice, and this practice then lead to better learning outcomes for children. This framework is also surrounded by the theme of sustainability and inclusivity in education. A good conceptual framework should always be simple, clear, well-labeled, and theory-based. It is guided by Vygotsky's constructivism, which highlights the important roles of teachers and the learning environment in children's development. In the conclusion, diagram relationships between variables help us to organize our research ideas, clarify theoretical links, and guide future studies.
Alright, for the last is conclusion. In conclusion, theory or conceptual framework are very important in guiding research. They help make a study more organized, meaningful, and connected to real classroom practice. These papers show how Vygotsky and constructivity theory can be blended to create a strong framework that links teacher competence, pedagogy, and child outcomes. With a clear framework, research can truly support teachers and improve children's learning experience. That's all from our group. Thank you.